When a beloved heritage brand modernizes, it's a big moment. This is the 2027 Scout Traveler, and then over here is the Scout Terra. This is a pretty exciting moment. I want you to notice these guys are actually getting these prototype cars set up so we can show you what the lighting is going to look like, what the interior is going to look like. And I have a lot to tell you about how you get one of these, when you can get one of these, and what the buying experience is going to be like. In bringing back Scout Motors, which was purchased by Volkswagen a few years ago, decided to do everything differently and take a really modern approach. So these are all electric, although there is some news here, but then they also dropped a bomb. And that is, not only are these SUVs and trucks going to be all electric, but they're also offering a gas extender. And what that means is, in addition to the 350-mile range, buyers will be able to opt for a gas-powered extender, so a motor and a gas tank that will add 150 miles of driving range to that 350-mile battery range. So you're going on a long trip, a road trip, and you want that confidence, you're going off-road and you want the confidence of being able to add gas, you can do that with the gas extender. That's pretty big news, and also was pretty big news to people who really love the confidence of a gas engine. There is a gas-powered hybrid option. They are very modern, and on the interior, the exterior, it's literally everything that you can imagine you would want in an off-roader SUV or a pickup truck, but it goes beyond that. It's also everything that you'd want from the buying experience. So Scout has really rethought everything from the ground up with the perspective of how would we do it if we could do it perfectly? That's their goal. But before we talk about what it's going to be like to experience the Scout Motors Terra and Traveler, this is the Traveler, the Terra is the pickup truck, let's take a look at what this truck and SUV are all about. This is the Scout Traveler. It is a 4-door, 5-passenger, actually possibly 6-passenger SUV. And I want you to notice a couple of things. First of all, these really interesting lights. So these are the daytime running lights and the headlights. Look how narrow and thin they are. And then there's the Scout badge, which is lit on the front face of the SUV. It's got this lower skid plate because this is designed for off-roading. This is a body on frame, which means that it truly is designed for 4-wheel drive for off-roading. Then we have little fog lights over here. And I love this lit frame around the front grille. So you can even see, like, it's backlit here. There's backlighting back there behind this plastic frame or this composite frame here. Now this is a prototype. Some of the things that you see here may be different when it comes to market in a little over a year, probably a year and 3 or 4 months, something like that. Notice there are recovery hooks or tow hooks there attached to the bumper. I want you to notice here, there between the tow hooks and above the skid plate, that is space for a winch. So if you want to accessorize with this with a winch for towing out somebody else or pulling, say, a large log off the trail, you can do that. You can put a winch right there. On the side, this is really cool. I love the look and the feel. It's very sculpted and modern. So it has that nice flat roof and boxy rear end. We also have these hooks here on the hood. So these are tie downs for a roof rack if you wanted to put a roof box up there. But you can also use these as guides for making sure that your wheels are in the right place on the trail. Another detail that I really love are these door handles. Check this out. So it has this nice little scalloped edge, or this sort of a dental edge here. And then look at the lighting. They've really paid a lot of attention to details here. So large wheels are a big part of the Scout offer because these are off-roaders. They're talking about 35-inch wheels. Speaking of wheels or tires, there also is this spare tire, and I'm really excited to show you what this is going to look like because this is very cool. So first of all, they added a tire box here on the back. So there's this whole compartment here that's going to hold the tire. And whoops, I think I just unlocked the back. I'm going to show you what this looks like to open the lift gate as well. There's just a little latch right in there in that handle. But in the tire frame, the tire holder, there's even a lit Scout badge here. It's just the coolest thing. The rear tail lights mimic the headlights. So you'll notice it's got these sort of low horizontal tail lights here, and then the frame, and even the backlit front grille, you'll see that repeated over here on the back on these tail lights. Really beautiful, nice materials here, soft, and not too plastic. I'm sure it's designed to be lightweight. And we'll see what it looks like when it comes to production, because this is a pre-production model. And then we have that nice brake light there on the top. So once the spare tire is out of the way, we have a clamshell opening. And this folds down and folds up. And what that does is it gives you nice coverage for a workspace or for to set out lunch or for tailgating. We love a clamshell liftgate. This is something that's very popular with SUV owners. And then Scout Motors did a couple of smart things. There is a lighting strip here that gives you a really nice low red light for that workspace. There is, I don't see other lighting here, but I wouldn't be surprised if they add it. And then they added some functional MOLLE panels here on the sides of the wall. I'll show you. And really beautiful treatment here on the floor. So here's the cargo area, this really beautiful finishes. Look at these details here. And this is I'm sure this is probably not what we're going to see when it comes to market, but it's a really nice finish. And then they added these really clever MOLLE panels. And so this will allow you to add accessories here and here. And it looks like there is a 40-20-40 split of the seats, so you can fold those seats down for extra cargo area, and seating for 5 passengers. I see child car seat, upper tethers for 2 car seats, but not one in the middle. And so with a push of a button, we get to open the frunk. And this is a pretty big deal. In fact, look how big this is. So Scout says that it will have slide out seating. I'm not allowed to play with it, but it looks like there is a panel here that will slide out so you can pull out a seat if you want to use this for, say, tailgating or just sitting underneath the this lovely hood so you're not getting rained on or not getting sunburned. There also are power outlets. There is a MOLLE panel so you can attach a few things if you need to attach some things here. There's a work light. They said there's a power outlet here somewhere. So lots of great features here in the frunk. And Scout says, oh, and wait, look, there are cup holders. So you have a place to put your Stanley cup or your other beverage if you're sitting and enjoying a little tailgating. Scout says that in addition to the slide out seating that this will fit a set of golf clubs, which means it probably will also fit a stroller, which in my opinion is far more important, especially in the pickup truck where you don't have all that ready storage the way you do in the SUV. Now this is the SUV, but the pickup truck will have the same frunk as well. There are 2 models that are the first editions for the Scout Motors family. There is the Traveler SUV, and this is the Terra. This is the pickup truck version. And there are some things that Scout's designers did that are really novel and very cool inside both of them, but I'm excited to show you a couple of features in the Terra pickup truck that you've never seen in any pickup truck ever. It's very cool. The Terra pickup truck looks very much like the SUV on the outside. It's not exact replica. There are some things different. For instance, these hood tie downs are slightly different. There's a lot of similarity, but they're not identical copies. Although you will notice that the backlit front grille here, and which is not really a grille, but this front panel here with the headlights and the Scout name, that is very similar. You also notice the skid plates and the recovery hooks are very similar as well. And this can be equally as accessorized as the Traveler. You'll notice that there's the nice square flat-topped cabin. You'll notice the pickup truck bed. It's a 5.5-foot bed. It even has like some hand grips here. They really thought about how people will use this. I love this texture here. There's a really lovely tailgate. The tailgate on the Terra pickup truck is actually a little more animated than the SUV because it doesn't have that spare tire on the rear. Then we also have a lower skid plate there and recovery hooks here on the back, which also the Traveler SUV has as well. But the thing that I want you to notice is this. This is one of my favorite features and something that I noticed right away, and that is this large, clear window with almost no frame to it. It's wide and it's open and it's airy. I love the treatment of the back of this pickup truck. This gives you all kinds of view. You can see those guys over there wiping down the car and getting it ready for prime time today. And that's because this window is so open and so clear and gives you such a great view. There are absolutely no blind spots from the back of this pickup truck. You'll notice the door handles are similar as well. And then there is this, the Harvester badge. And the Harvester signifies that this is going to be a gas and electric hybrid. So it's not only electric, it has an extender, which gives it about a gas powered motor, so you can add gas, and it gives you about 150 miles on top of the electric battery range. Scouts really thought about how we use our trucks and what kind of conveniences make a big difference, and they added a few things. One, there's a little step down here, which will allow you to step here to get into this part of the bed. I love that. There's also a handhold right here to allow you to get into this part of the bed. Then when you get into the bed, and I'll show you this, there are MOLLE panels. This is a coated bed. We'll see, it's a prototype, so we'll see what it looks like when it comes to market, but I imagine it will look very much like this. It has a lot of capability for adding and securing accessories in the truck bed of the Scout Terra. There's some nice lighting there, and then I imagine there's going to be lighting. I see there is definitely a light on the roof here. I imagine there'll probably either be built-in lighting or the opportunity to add accessory lighting right there on the rear of the pickup truck roof. The interior of the Scout is completely rethought, and I want to show you some of the things in here. So it starts with this wide multimedia screen here on the dash, and this is going to, it looks like about 17 or 18 inches. This is going to give you really great function. There is a second screen right here that is the driver display, and then I want you to look at the shape of the steering wheel. It's a squircle, so it's flat on the top and flat on the bottom. It's upside down here because they have the wheels turned. And then there are dials here for controls, and there's a dial here. And that, I would imagine, is the stop-start button, actually. Sometimes you don't see those, but sometimes you do. And then we've got auxiliary buttons here. This is such a great detail. So if you add a light bar, a winch, things like that, these are your auxiliary buttons. So you're going to wire it right into the car and right into the power source under the hood there, and then you'll have the controls there. There are actual buttons here for climate control, air vents there, wireless charge pads and USB ports there, cup holders. The whole treatment is really beautiful and elegant. And then they added one of my favorite things, a nice little cubby here underneath the center console, which is a great place to put a handbag or a laptop or backpack, something like that. There is an accessory bar here. So you see that bar there and how it's open at the top. So you'll be able to, if you need to add some accessories there, maybe you want to just add like an extra speaker or a light or a dash cam, whatever it is you'd like to add, you can add that very easily. Another feature that I really love is this. Check out this headliner. So this is a panoramic sunroof. It has a light surround, so we can't see it right now, but there's a really nice light surround there. But notice that tartan plaid, and that is a Scout heritage detail. And Scout's designers actually use that whole plaid idea inside the car, and that's something that'll be available on upholstery fabrics as well. Here, the Scout is upholstered in leather. There also will be leatherette. Oh my God, this feels so good. This feels like a really expensive chair that you would buy at a fancy furniture store. And then notice how this is upholstered. This is a really nice woven fabric here, the Scout badge down here, and then this really beautiful leather. The leather extends to the armrest here. It's so soft. And any surface where you might touch, you know, your arm might touch here, your knee might be over here. The idea is for those surfaces to be lovely and comfortable wherever you might touch them. These door panels are so beautiful. And I'll show you over here, these are the door handles. I'm not even really sure how they work. There are that fabric cover here. All of the, notice this this sort of dental treatment here. You see this on the inside of the door handle. That's also on the outside, on the exterior door handles that you see over here, right? And then there's these just clever things, like this is just a nice little elastic cord to keep things in this pocket, in this door pocket. But notice that it has that tartan plaid as well. So clever. Speaker panels here that are covered in the tartan plaid, and then more of that leather on the door panels. Really, really beautiful. And then the interior, so seating for 5 back here. They haven't installed the child passenger latches yet. This is just a prototype. I'm sure when it comes to market, it will have space for 2, if not 3 child passenger car seats, because you want to take your kids with you everywhere you go. And I'll show you this too. Just inside the door, there are these grips, and notice how the grips also have that sort of dental treatment. And then they're stitched, they're leather covered and stitched. And then the pillar there has that tartan plaid fabric. The interior is pretty special. Up here, there's a nice little panel with more auxiliary switches. So if you have, right now I see 8 blanks, 8 switches that you can attach accessories to. And then they have kind of the typical things. And then there is this, an actual compass. So if you want a true compass, or maybe you get to a place where there's no GPS and you really need to know where you are, you have a true magnetic compass here right in this upper console in the Scout Traveler. Inside the Terra pickup truck, it's a little different. You might expect it's just a replica of the SUV. Not the case at all. First of all, notice this. It has a bench seat. This is an option, but if you want a bench seat, you can get a bench seat for seating up to 6. I believe that's going to be an option in the SUV as well. Notice also that we have seating for 3 in the rear and this huge panoramic sunroof, and then also that clear back window. That back window is really stunning. This is like it's almost like being in a convertible, except for without all the air. You'll have to put the windows down to really get that convertible feel. Like the SUV, we also see those grips there on the pillars that have that sort of dental or scalloped look to it, like the headlights do, or like the front grille does. Look at this wood trim though. The wood trim on this dash is spectacular. It has just, now again, this is a prototype, so we don't know that we're going to see this kind of detail or this exact trim, but it will probably look something like this. And you've never seen anything like this before. Down here, there are more of the same auxiliary switches there. We have the auxiliary switches there and the compass, and then this really beautiful fabric headliner. All of it is really elegant and heritage. And then another heritage detail is the plaid or the tartan pattern here on the upholstery, on the leather upholstery that we're seeing here on this bench seat. It's actually really, really gorgeous. And look at how wide this is. It's designed to give you all of this comfort and hold you. It's got this kind of bolstering treatment here, so it'll hold you in place while you're driving off-road and keep you comfortable while you're driving on streets and highways. There are even just clever, redesigned, rethought details here. These are the seat controls. You see the Scout badge there. One thing that I really love is this wide flat floor. This is electric, and so we don't need that huge transmission tunnel. We don't need all that space. The old Scouts are really wide and open. Their interiors are a panel for the dash and seats, and then not a lot of stuff there in the middle. And that's what we see here on this Scout as well. This open space gives this a heritage feel. So does this cabin. It all feels very much in sync with those heritage vehicles that we saw before. On the dash, we also see the accessories bar up there. We see the wide flat screen, the driver display, and then these controls here on the steering wheel for multimedia and driver assist. So some of the same things that we're used to seeing. And then this squircle design that's flat on top and bottom, because that's where steering wheels are going. That's going to enhance your visibility inside the Terra from Scout Motors. The promise that Scout is making is not just a new approach to a pickup truck and an SUV, but also a whole new approach to ownership. Scout is going to set up Scout workshops, Scout experience and centers. To buy a Scout, you can do it completely online. You make your digital reservation, or you can go to a Scout experience center, a Scout studio, or a Scout workshop, where not only can you learn about the car, figure out the accessories that you want, decide on the trim you want. Do you want the gas extender, or do you just want the all-electric model? You can learn more. You can also connect with the Scout community and develop your own Scout experiences for your ownership. When it comes to maintenance, when it comes to installation, maintenance, purchase and installation of accessories, or just hanging out in the Scout world and maybe doing a little off-roading drive or learning how to use your Scout, go right back to the Experience Center. That's where all that can be done. And they're really rethinking what that's going to look like. More lounge and more community and less sort of retail dealership and service center. That's in the past. This is in the future. and it's pretty exciting to see. Reservations are open now. Pricing starts at about $60,000 or just under $60,000. These are going to be built in South Carolina, which means they will qualify for any federal and state tax incentives. Scout Motors gave us a lot to digest over the last couple of days, introducing us to the Traveler and then also the Terra pickup truck. Now, they haven't mentioned the horsepower number, but they have said this is going to have over 1,000 pound-feet of torque. It's going to be fast and it's going to be powerful, up to about 10,000 pounds of towing, which is really incredible. That's in the pickup truck, about 7,000 in the SUV. Still a lot of tow capacity for an all-electric, brand new, very modern Scout Motors SUV or pickup truck.